Hey everyone, and I thank you for tuning in to yet again another episode of my orchid adventure with me, Maria Young. So today we are in my garden and we have indeed a mission at hand. And our mission today, folks, is selecting a Vanda for an extreme experiment. Yes, indeed, we are back at it again, but we want to make sure that we select a Vanda that is healthy enough and that is capable of recovering from whatever we are going to put it through today. Dun-dun-dun-dun. And basically, folks, what we are going to do is the process of elimination and selecting the prime candidate for our experiment today. So I'm going to go ahead and do a run through of some of the requirements we should be looking for. One of the most important requirements is the fact that you have to select a Vanda that is very healthy. We have to make sure that that Vanda is healthy enough to recover and endure the process of the experiment. So the Vanda that we will be selecting today, of course, has to be at 100%. We have to make sure that it does not have any type of ailment or sickness in any way. Of course, ensuring that it is going to be healthy enough to endure, prosper, and get over what we are going to put it through today. Also, another requirement, of course, is that the Vanda has to be mature enough. So we're going to have to make sure that the Vanda has at least bloomed for us at least one time before, so we can be rest assured again that it is mature enough to handle everything that it is about to go through. And also, folks, the Vanda that we select cannot be in spike, in bloom, or creating any types of keikis or offshoots. Because we want to ensure that the Vanda can focus all of its energy on healing and recovering and doing exactly what we need it to do. So all of its energy must be focused on just that alone. Okay, so now that you know exactly what we're looking for, let me go ahead and show you the Vanda that I have selected. And it is right over here. It's this gentleman right here. And yes, indeed, he was brave enough and bold enough to step up to the challenge, and I have to really commend him. Vanda dear, indeed, we salute you. And the reason why we selected this particular Vanda right here, folks, of course, he fit the bill. I mean, he was everything that we were requiring, everything that this extreme experiment dreams of. I'm telling you, because he is very, very healthy, no sickness, no ailment. He is not in spike, he is not in bloom, not creating any type of keikis or offshoots. And again, very mature. He has blossomed before and just a healthy fella. Yes, indeed, he is the Vanda for the job. And I think we did well, folks. We get 2 green thumbs up in this selection right here. Okay, so before we begin the extreme experiment, I guess it would be a good idea to tell you exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it, right? I mean, that's like the common sense thing to do, right? Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, folks, is we are trying to force this Vanda right here in creating some offshoots and some babies for us, and we're going to do it in a quite extreme method, I do have to say. Oh, no, folks. Again, folks, I have to tell you, if you guys are really squeamish, whatever you want to call it, and you guys are really faint-hearted, this video might not be for you. So, yeah, either that or just peek through your hands like this, okay? Just But yeah, it's gonna get pretty extreme, folks, because this is an extreme experiment. So let's talk about why an orchid would throw off babies and offshoots and things of that nature. The reason why a Vanda, or an orchid for that matter, would do such a thing is usually in a case where it's become extremely injured and to the point where it actually believes it is not going to survive. It is in shock mode, and when it becomes to a point where it It just wants to survive. So it's going to do that by any means necessary. Sometimes you're going to find the orchid actually throwing off an inflorescence or a spike in hopes that it can create blossoms and possibly seed pods, so that possibly in the future it will create more babies, of course, through its seeds. So that's one method. Another method, of course, is to produce offshoots and keikis either from the base or even the stem of the plant, wherever it wants to do that. But that's going to be its primary goal when it goes through this kind of shock status. So that, folks, is basically what we're going to do in a nutshell, okay? So be prepared, folks. Be brave. Be bold. Again, this is another experiment in learning and growing, and sometimes it does take some sacrifices, some losses, but yet, folks, some wins. And either way, we're going to walk out of this just that much more wiser, okay, folks? So that's what it's all about here, folks. So let us go ahead and begin. Dun-dun-dun-dun! And the materials that we're going to be using today, folks, is this peroxide right here. This is going to be used to sanitize everything, including the Vanda, because after the procedure, we want to make sure that the Vanda does not go into any type of infections, right? Now, this is a spray bottle. We're going to be using that to spray the peroxide wherever we need to. Uh-oh, you guys are seeing a hammer. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And also a nail. Oh my gosh. And here we also have the gloves. We're going to use the gloves so that we can stay sanitized as well while we are working in this element right here. So let's go ahead and begin. Okay, folks, so here we are, and what I'm doing right now is I'm really trying to select an area where I think it's going to be safe to go ahead and actually hammer this nail right through the Vanda. And we're actually going to do this twice. You heard it here, folks. We're going to do this twice. Okay, so the area that I don't want to affect is this upper area. I want to stay away from here. I believe this is a sensitive part because, of course, you guys know the new growth of the leaves always come up from the top. So yeah, I don't want to get too close to that area. I just think that's very, very sensitive. Also, I think what I'm going to have to do is come closer down to the base area as well, because if we take a look at the leaves, and this is a little secret for you guys, this is a bonus, a freebie, folks. Usually when a Vanda blooms, if it's healthy, it's going to bloom like every mature fourth leaf down. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, either right here, or if we count this one right here, because this is pretty much close to being mature, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's probably going to be here, actually. This leaf right here is normally where this is going to spike at. So I don't want to hit it right there, and that might be where a spike could come from. So I'm going to actually come a little beneath. Let's see. Okay, folks, here we go, here we go, here we go now. This is where I selected to go ahead and hammer this nail in. And here we go, folks. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Oh, no, I'm not ready for this. Okay, here we go. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh, folks. It's hammered right through there. Oh, my gosh, folks. I think I'm going to take it even further than that. Let's see if we can go ahead and just make it go all the way through. Yeah, that's what we're doing, folks. Yep. Okay, and here comes the tough part. We're actually gonna pull it out. Uh-oh, I don't even think we can. Ah, there it goes. There it goes. There's that hole right there. Okay, so now we're gonna select the other point of choice, and I'm gonna do it just right here, folks. Right here. We're gonna do it again. Uh-oh, hold your breath, guys. Hold your breath. And there you go. There you go. Yep, there it is. It's right in there. And yeah, it's pretty good. And folks, I'm going to take it a step further than that. I'm actually going to turn this around, and we're going to do it on the other side in the same exact place where we've nailed the first holes, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and turn this over, turn it right around. And we're going to go ahead and ensure that the nail has actually went all the way through by, of course, finding the holes that we originally made and then hammering it in one more time. We're gonna seal the deal and make sure that, of course, again, the nail has gone all the way through. Okay, folks, I'm on the other side and you see the weather going crazy. It's a little bit harder to do it here because the actual stem is not flush with the actual table itself. So yeah, I'm having a little bit of a hard time. But as you guys can see, it is in there. And I can assure you that because we nailed it on the other side as well, that yeah, it went all the way through. And the other one was right here. And we're gonna do that really quick for you. And yeah, it's about to rain, so trying to do this as quick as possible. Yeah, there you go, there you go. So that's the second hole, and we've done it, folks. We've done it. I'm gonna give this another layer of spray after, of course, I take this out. A little bit hard, folks. There you go. And I'm gonna give this another layer of spray of the peroxide, and on the other side as well, of course, just to ensure that infections don't set in. And folks, what I'm gonna do with this Vanda is I'm actually gonna take care of this Vanda just as I normally would, watering it like normal and taking care of it as normal. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to spray this down a couple of more times for a couple of days just to ensure that no infection sets in there. And of course, I'm going to also put some cinnamon on there as well just to ensure the drying process of these two puncture wounds. You guys definitely have to stay tuned and see exactly what happens with this Vanda right here. And also, folks, I have some other experiments on the way as well. One that is actually, we're going to try to ensure or force a Vanda to produce actual flower spikes. I don't know if that's possible. Someone brought it to my attention, said it could be done, but again, it's an extreme experiment and they weren't bold enough to do it. But you guys know I am bold enough to do it. Like, more power, I tell you, man. I am bold enough to do it, so we're gonna try that experiment. And then we have another exciting experiment for Vandas as well, in which we are gonna try to promote root growth in a new method, a new way that's never been heard of before. And somebody also on my Facebook brought it to my attention. They thought it could be done. I was not sure, but you know what? I'm always willing to try. I'm always willing to learn, always willing to grow. So indeed, that's what I'm gonna do. And you guys already know that you have to stay tuned to the progress, or maybe even lack thereof, of what's going on with that brutal surgical procedure that we had to do that was necessary in order to save this Vanda's life from what appeared to be the fatal rotting that was going on. Yes, indeed. Stay tuned for the update. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, like what in the world is wrong with you, you are totally missing out. But if you guys don't know, seriously, folks, you can click this link right up here. It'll take you right to that extreme surgical procedure video that we did. Like, oh my gosh. So definitely make sure you watch it and stay tuned for more. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. And you guys know I love you all, like, even with my gloved hands.